Hello, I'm Mohammad Mahmudul Hassan. I am an advocate of Bangladesh Supreme Court. Today, I'm going to share a very important aspect of the writ application, which is Locus Standi. The term Locus Standi is a very important factor of a writ applications because in order to consider the maintainability of the writ application, the court always considers whether the petitioner has locus standi or not. So this term may be treated as complicated to the general people, but for practicing the read applications that we have to consider about the locus standi of every read applications before the Honorable Court of Law. So in order to determine the locus standi, that we have to consider whether the petitioner is aggrieved or not, whether he is aggrieved by way of personal hurt, or he is having the sufficient interest about the impugned issue of writ application. So the person can be personally hurt, or he can represent the other people. That means that this might be a public interest matters, or that he may have sufficient interest for the other people of his country, of his locality, or of his society. So let me explain this matter properly. First of all, that the writ is a very important issue. Whether you know that by way of writ applications that we can make the judicial review, the court can make the judicial review about the impugned action inaction of the activities of the government or any person in connection with the affairs of the republic or of a local authority. So in these circumstances, the court considers whether the person who has brought the writ application, that whether he is aggrieved or not. So in order to be aggrieved, there are several elements like that person may be aggrieved because of having his personal interest, or having personally hurt, or if he is not personally hurt, whether he has to prove that he has sufficient interest regarding this matter. As for example, in case of PIL, that means public interest case, that we used to we try to establish before the court of law that the person who has brought this writ application has sufficient interest for the overall society, for the overall people of his country. But in another sense, that if any personal rights is violated of a people by the government agencies, or by a person in connection with the affairs of the republic or of a local authority, so in that case it can be treated that that person is personally hurt. So we see that in many cases the case is ultimately failed because the case does not have the locus standi. So sometimes we see that the writ application is running before the court for a long time, but after the final hearing, it is found that the petitioner has no locus standi over this matter. So in this case and circumstances, that we have to consider about the issue of locus standi seriously. So for considering the locus standi, for examining the locus standi, that we have to fulfill the 2 points. Number one point is that whether the person is personally aggrieved or not, whether he has sufficient interest or not, whether he is personally injured or not. If he is not personally injured, that he can prove that he has sufficient interest on that issue. As like that might be a case of public interest, that might be that he may have the sufficient interest for his people, for his locality. So this is a very important thing. So this locus standi is a very vital point regarding the read application. So I can give an example. Suppose a person has been barred to go abroad, because according to the Constitution of Bangladesh, it is the fundamental rights of the people to go abroad, to come into the country. Suppose a person has been barred in the airport to go abroad. So in that case, he is personally hurt. His interest has personally been hurt. So in that case, that person can file the writ application before the Honorable High Court Division, saying that he is personally hurt regarding that matter. On the other hand, as per example, suppose a brick field has been established in a village or in an union where the people are suffering this mass pollution for that brick field, and also if the brick field is established without following the legal provisions. So in that case, what might be happening? In that case, any villagers can file the case, can file the writ application on behalf of the overall people of his society, of his locality. So this is a one kind of a representative character. So in that case, that person has to prove, that has to explain that he has sufficient interest to represent this matter before the honorable court, because this is a one kind of public interest. So for determining the locus standi, that we have to fulfill these two things. Number one, that whether the person is personally aggrieved, that if the person is personally aggrieved, it's enough to maintain the writ applications. On the other hand, that person may not be personally aggrieved, but he has sufficient interest for the people of his locality, for the people of his society. So this is a very important thing. So if these elements are fulfilled, so it can be said that this person has locus standi to bring this matter before the honorable court of law. So to determine the locus standi, this is a very important thing. So although there are many elements of writ applications like natural justice, like malefied, like ultra vires, like doctrine of political questions, there are so many elements which are to be considered in a writ applications. But the locus standi is a very vital and important point for a writ application, so that the court can intervene on this matter or not. So I think that the issue of locus standi is clear to the people. Thank you everybody. Thank you very much for this kind of video.